Alright, what is going on, everyone? DSP here. The camera seems to be too low. Let's fix that. What's up, everybody? DSP here, and welcome to Ask the King, episode 75, ladies and gentlemen. 75 episodes of Ask the King have taken place over the course of the last, 9 to 10 years. I don't even know the exact number, because I don't really track it. I don't really track the time frame. But 75 episodes. Holy crap. Now, keep in mind that over the years, this show has had various forms and incarnations. It used to just be for YouTube. Then it became live on stream and YouTube. It used to be a monthly show. Actually, at one point, I think it was a bi-monthly show. Then it ended up being a monthly show. Then it ended up being every 2 months. So, interesting, because the thing is, you know, my content has evolved so much over the years that a Q&A show like this, in a lot of ways, may have difficulty finding a place in all the stuff that I do. Because let's be honest, everyone, now I'm an interactive streamer. Every single day, I have a pre-stream. I have interactivity with all of you during the streams. And I'm answering all of your questions pretty much on the fly every single day. And since that's the case, you know, a lot of people have questioned, is there even a real reason to do a dedicated Q&A show? This show, the purpose of the show is to field questions from various different sources, from my forums at thekingofhate.com, from my Twitter at theycallmedsp right here, and from my patrons. And to take those questions in, and then to answer them live in a fun setting like this. So if you, I want to just watch a Q&A show with Phil, you could do that without having to watch every pre-stream every day or watch every gameplay stream where I answer questions variously, you know, throughout the length of every stream. So all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be very honest with everyone. This is episode 75 of Ask the King, and it was very tough for me to even put together enough to do the show. I only have not even 2 pages of questions. Yeah, that's not a good sign. What that tells me is that basically, number one, the show's run so long that maybe it's already run its course. Most people who had long-standing questions already have asked them. And number two, that people ask me so many questions on live stream every day that maybe there's no reason for Ask the King anymore. I don't know. I want your feedback. I already asked my live stream on the pre-stream, and they were basically of the impression they want to see Ask the King continue, but basically, yeah, maybe I should make it less frequent. Maybe it should be every 3 or 4 months instead of every 2 months. So maybe only doing it once a quarter, 3 times a year, or something like that would make it more meaningful of a show rather than doing it every other month. Because right now, I'm not even getting enough questions to do the show every month. Okay? So, give me your feedback, everyone who's watching this on YouTube. I've already got the feedback of the stream viewers, but I'd love to hear, if you're watching this on demand on YouTube, your feedback, all right? That being said, we are still doing a normal show. I don't know how long the show is going to run. I've got about 10 questions that I took from the forums this time around, and I think I've got about 5 or 6 questions off of Twitter, and then there absolutely will be interactivity with the stream chat, where I'm going to be taking questions from the stream chat. And also keep in mind, people who cheer, sub, and tip during the live stream, I'm going to be giving shout outs and answering their questions as well. So basically, the show is interactive with the stream, plus me reading questions from other sources. All right. Now, there are 3 ways you can submit your questions if you want to be on an episode of Ask the King. The next episode I'm doing is still going to be in May. It's late May. In fact, it'll be May 30th, 2019. But after that, depending on your feedback on this show, maybe I'll slow it down and not do it as often, all right? So there's 3 ways you can post up your questions. Number 1, there's already a thread over on my forums on thekingofhate.com for the next episode, all right? That's number 1. You can post up your questions right now. Number 2, if you're a patron of mine, there's a patron level that you can pledge where you get your questions answered for sure on the show. A guaranteed answer. And as you know, on this show, I give more lengthy answers to questions. It's not like real quick ones on the fly like I do sometimes on streams. I usually think out the answers ahead of time to give you a lengthy, intelligent answer. So it's a really good way, if you had a question you really wanted answered in depth, to get it answered, pledge to my Patreon to make that happen. Or the day of the show, I always field Twitter questions. That's my Twitter right there at theycallmedsp. And I took about 5 or 6 questions from Twitter today as well. Plus, of course, if you're here live during the streams, you can do stream chat interaction. So that's how you get your questions answered on the show. If you're watching this on demand on YouTube, your best bet would be to post on the forums. Or if you want to for sure have your question answered, pledge to my Patreon. Okay? All right. Before we even begin, shout out to DJ Atomica 1909 who subscribed for 24 months, and to Ralph Swayze who also subscribed for 7 months. Thank you both very much for those subscriptions. All right. Let's get started with the first segment of the show, shall we? So our first question today comes from Tynel, and he says, what are your favorite types of meals? Okay. Well, Tynel, overall, what are my favorite types of meals? For me, I like a meal, first of all, this is very true. I like a meal that's not complicated to eat. Okay? So to give you some perspective, I like it when I'm going to eat a meal and I'm starving, right? I'm sitting down, I'm hungry, man. I want to sit down, and I just want to eat, and I don't want to have a lot of to-do about it. There are a lot of meals out there that are fancy preparation. Like, you go to a Mexican restaurant, and the flaming chicken fajitas that they bring out, it's on fire. And now you have to take those ingredients, and you have to put them into, like, tortillas and wrap them up by yourself. It's a pain in the ass. You go to a seafood restaurant. I never in my life get lobster or crab or anything like that. Why? It's a pain in the ass. Some people love crab legs. I don't want to sit here cracking crab legs and sucking meat out of the fucking shell. When I eat, I just want to eat. I just want the food to be ready. I sit down, boom, I'm, done. Not that I'm doing all this work to get my meal. You know what I mean? Now, I'll be honest, cooking stuff is fun. In a lot of ways, cooking stuff is not easy, but fun to see how the components of a meal come together to be a fun meal. But when I sit down to eat, I want the eating portion to be easy. So that's step one. Give me a meal that's easy to eat. That's an important thing for me, okay? Number two, what other is my favorite type of meal? Well, I'm Italian. I grew up with Italian heritage, as well as Polish. My mom is actually 50-50, half Polish, half Italian. So all my life, we either had Italian food or Polish food around the house. So that means either, Italian homemade sauce with pasta, chicken parmesan, that kind of stuff. Or, on the flip side, the Polish side, handmade pierogies, Polish sausages, kibasi, that kind of stuff. So I had kind of two different cultural varieties of food. I'll be honest, over time, I don't necessarily think I like the Polish stuff as much, but the Italian stuff, I love Italian food. All right, I rarely get to eat it, but I love Italian food. It's one of the few things that I make myself. I make a homemade pot of Italian sauce so that I can get that Italian flavor and feeling. Yeah, I would say those are probably my favorite types of meals. Now, if you're talking fast food meals, that's different. Like fast food, my favorite fast food meals would probably be something, either if you're talking burgers, probably like Wendy's is the best fast food chain of burgers around here, but you could get better stuff. Like you get Five Guys or Habit Burger, and those are just way, way better. If you're talking pizza, there's not a lot of fast food pizza around here that's very good. So really like Papa John's, and even that's not that good. If you're talking like Mexican, Taco Bell, yeah, right. No, there's actually a place called Baja Fresh where they make everything from fresh ingredients. Tacos, burritos, all kinds of great stuff. And I really like that place. So those are kind of like my favorite meals around here that I have. But, in general, give me something that's easy to eat, not a lot of work, and I'm going to go for it. And, of course, I really love Italian food. Okay? All right. There you go. Oh, by the way, shout out to Big Batman Balls, who tipped me $1. It says, King of Questions, Ask the King, let's go. All right. So thank you for that. We're up to $8 in tips today. Big Batman Balls. Okay, then. Our next question is from The Shadow Detective. And he says, I just finished listening to your 74th episode of Ask the King. I came up with this right now. Let's say, for example, YouTube right now would just disappear like Machinima has. Machinima, a company that I used to be partnered with for many, many years, and is completely out of business now. Where exactly would you archive your gameplay if YouTube were to ever disappear? I'm busy a lot, so I'll never be able to go to your streams. If YouTube goes, I may never able to watch your stuff ever again. Well, you may not know this. First of all, Twitch does have stream archives. Twitch does have playlists. It's just that Twitch is not a website that's really catered towards the on-demand viewer. It's catered towards the live viewer. I could, if I chose to, archive all of my gameplay on Twitch easily. In fact, easier than YouTube. I wouldn't have to do additional uploads. It would just be there for you to watch. However, I think that they have issues. Like some people have told me, I can't watch anything on Twitch at all. I try to watch, and the Twitch requires way more bandwidth, or you know, my internet can't handle it. The Twitch stuff looks like crap, which is why I watch your stuff on YouTube later. Are there third-party websites to upload videos to? Yes. Are they any good? Not really. There really is no competitor to YouTube right now. However, if YouTube were to go under, now I feel competition would step up. Honestly, I think the reason that there is no major competitor to YouTube for on-demand video is because YouTube is so big and the dominant force and has so much money behind it. Even with all the mistakes and missteps and horrible things YouTube has done over the years to ruin their whole business, they still they still are the most prominent video sharing website because they're the one place you can go, upload your video, and, you know, no matter what kind of video it is, it goes live immediately and you can share it with the world with no repercussion, nothing. It's just boom, it's there. And they have unlimited bandwidth, unlimited storage space. You know what I mean? Other businesses can't afford that. Even, you know, companies that have tried like Blip TV and the like are all gone. So, you know, in that regard, I really feel that if YouTube were to die, okay, some other businesses would step up and try to fill in that gap. Would they be successful? I don't know. But I think the reason they don't do it now is because YouTube is too much the dominant force, the big animal that eats up everything else around it. And there's really no way to compete with YouTube right now. Okay? Let's see. Wow. Smelly Dong tipped me 50 bits and says, I will buy Suicide Kings for 10,000 rupees. Email me if interested. What a great share. All right, continuing on. The next question is, actually, the next person asked two completely different questions. All right, I'll answer both of them. We'll start with his first question. This is from The Reflecting God. Okay. First question. Given the technology of today, would you consider trying non-smoke-based marijuana products like lollipops or beverages as a special stream event? I live in Washington State, and that kind of stuff is actually prevalent out here. You can go buy marijuana at a regular store that is dedicated just to selling those kind of things, like marijuana and marijuana products, bongs. Like, there's stores out here just to buy that stuff. I personally have zero desire to do so. I don't want to get high when I'm on a stream. I want to be coherent. I want to be interacting with you guys and having fun, rather than, oh, I'm high as hell and saying stupid shit or whatever. You know what I mean? So for me, I don't want to put drugs into my friggin' body. I know that marijuana can have side effects and the like that aren't very serious. I'm not one of these people who goes crazy and thinks that marijuana is going to ruin my life if I smoke a joint or I have a pot brownie. No, I don't think that's the end of the world and it's the gateway to the end of everything. No, I'm not stupid. But at the same time, I just seriously have no desire for it. It's another reason why I don't drink during my streams, right? The few times that I have are hit or miss. When I used to do it, 10 years ago, most of the time I would screw up horribly. And yeah, you guys would think it was funny. But now in the modern era, it could creep up, especially when there's other stuff behind the scenes going on. And then all those problems kind of get into my head. That's what happened during my Christmas marathon last year. Is I'm doing this Christmas, or actually it was a New Year's marathon because it was supposed to be Christmas. And then it failed because, the whole Christmas thing, I was sick. But anyway, here I am drinking. And I'm not feeling good. It makes me feel depressed. That's why I wouldn't do that. Now, pot probably wouldn't do that. But I want to do a stream where I'm here and conscious and active with you. I'm not aloof somewhere else. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't want to do anything of mind-altering drugs or whatever while on a stream. Plus, I don't even know if any of that stuff is allowed on Twitch at all. I don't believe it is. So, yeah, I don't know. But no, the answer is no. I'm not going to do that stuff. Okay? The next question from Reflecting Guys is, what is your expert opinion on Street Fighter 3 Third Strike from a mechanical perspective and just in general? This is going to be a question that isolates the audience because most people who are watching this don't give a crap about the technical side of fighting games. Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is a very interesting fighting game because it's based primarily off of the parry system. Meaning, at any time during the game, if someone's attacking you, you could just tap either forward or down. And if you tap it properly in time with when that move is supposed to hit you and deal damage, you basically go, bop, and you stop it completely. And it actually gives you advantage to now do a move and counter to what they're doing. Now, there's many nuances to the parry system. However, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike is a game that you basically need to play at a very high technical level because the parry system completely changes the game. I'll give you some example here. In Street Fighter 5, the current Street Fighter game, so some people might not actually understand this, there's a lot of characters in that game that are good only because they have patterns that are considered safe. They can throw out special moves that are either really fast or high priority, high damage, but are also very quick to recover. So it's a safe move. You could just keep doing the same move or the same pattern, and there's really no risk. It's pretty much safe. Either it hits or it doesn't. Either way, you're okay. You're safe. In Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, you can't do that. Nothing is safe in Third Strike because if someone parries whatever you're doing, they can immediately counterattack no matter what, leaving you wide open. So in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, it's more about mix-ups and a guessing game. Like, you want to hit your opponent, great, but you have to really keep them guessing. Are you going to hit low, do a mid-attack? Are you going to jump? Are you going to try to cross them up? Are you going to throw? Are you going to, there's a million things you can do in Third Strike as mix-ups. And really, the game is almost 100% about that because you always want to keep your opponent guessing. So they think they're going to parry. They parry incorrectly, and boom, now you land a giant combo on them. In Street Fighter 5, it's just such an easy mode fucking game. And I mean that. Like, you can learn to play that game at a high level in, like, 2 days. And it's just so basic, and there's really nothing complex like that to it. Yes, there's mix-ups, but it's all guessing without the risk of failure. Like, in Street Fighter 5, you can, I'm going to mix them up, and if it fails, oh, well, it was safe anyway. And that's why that game sucks, in my opinion. In Third Strike, everything is very high execution, high risk-reward. Parrying things well is actually quite difficult. So Third Strike is almost like a very difficult game to play, especially if you're like, oh, I'm an entry-level Street Fighter player. I'm going to try Street Fighter 3. Good luck. Because not only did you need to have all the fundamental knowledge of other Street Fighter games, then there's a whole parry system on top of everything that completely flips it on its head. That makes it even more difficult. So, in my opinion, Street Fighter 3 is actually one of the more difficult Street Fighter games to play on a technical level. Now, on a general level, it's quite fun. It's got a lot of high-level combos and juggles. And if you actually successfully parry something, like, oh, the opponent does a multi-hit move and you go parry, 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 and then you do your counter attack, it's very satisfying. Like, it's incredibly satisfying to do a high execution thing like that in that game, and it makes you look amazing, right? We all remember one of the biggest moments ever in Street Fighter history, the Daigo parry moment, when Justin Wong did a super with Chun-Li, and Daigo just stood there and parried every hit. Parry, 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 parry. Then he jumped, parried the final hit, did an insanely huge combo, and beat Justin in that round. Everyone was like, oh my god, amazing. That's like a quintessential moment in the history of Street Fighter that we'll never forget, because that game is designed that way, okay? So, yeah, I like the Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Does it have its shortcomings and problems? It absolutely does. Online, it's actually one of the hardest Street Fighter games to play because the parry system is very hard to do online. But outside of that, I love the game. So, okay. Continuing on here. The next question is from Popsicolo. Now, just listen to this. Interesting. He says, have you ever considered trying intermittent fasting? When you give your stomach a break, it helps your body heal itself, burn fat, and clear your head. Our prehistoric ancestors had to be focused on and sharp when trying to get their next meal, especially after going out a long time without eating. I usually fast 16 hours and eat for 8 hours a day. Occasionally, I eat one large meal, then go without eating for 24 hours, and I feel perfectly fine. Plus, a day without food can help you save money in the long run. For real, consider checking this out when you have nothing else to do for 5 minutes. What are your thoughts? Listen, talking about diets and everything, it really is a lot of factors. What works for one person may not work for another. That's why there's so many diets out there. The Atkins diet, the keto diet, the freaking, what's the new one? The new one that's supposed to be based off prehistoric, the prehistoric way they used to eat. It's not keto, it's, oh God, I can't remember what it's called. It has a really silly name too. But anyway, there's like so many of these diets. High fat, no fat. High cholesterol, no cholesterol. High carbs, no carbs. And everyone says that they work differently. Oh, the paleo diet. Thank you for the Paleolithic era or whatever. The paleo diet. Yes, that's what it's called. Thanks, guys. So, the deal is that there is a diet that's going to work for everyone. Okay, there is. But you have to find it for yourself because everyone has a different metabolism in their body. And so you may try 3 or 4 things that work for someone and it won't work for you. And then, oh, it's disappointing. But yeah, but that's going to happen. You know, that's going to happen. And you have to kind of be diligent and you kind of have to stick with it. and, you know, try to keep working, especially if you're someone who's into, you know, looking for serious weight loss or whatever. And, you know, it's not happening for you or whatever, you know, you have to basically not get disappointed. Because what I found over time is that for me, it's very hard for even me to find the right balance. Like, I used to eat 3 meals a day, and I would gain too much weight because my lifestyle was one that I don't do a lot of exercise, okay? Excuse me. And I'm very, wow, my thing is crashing here. I'm very sedentary in my lifestyle. I don't move a lot, being honest. I sit here on the couch streaming all day long most days. And, you know, because of that, you know, it's a situation where, because of that, it's a situation where, this is so weird. Sorry, I'm distracted. The reason I'm distracted is over here, I'm getting word that someone actually just pledged to my Patreon. And I'm like, wow, that's really cool. But it didn't show up here. I have the same leaderboard for Streamlabs over here on the left and here in front of me. And it showed up on this one and not on this one. Why did that happen? I'm not, people are, oh, is Phil banning someone? No, not at all. I'm trying to figure out what the hell just happened. That it says, I just received a Patreon pledge. But it's not showing up here. So I'm like super confused. Also, I'm supposed to get an email whenever I get a new patron pledgee, and I don't see one. But then again, my email might also be delayed. Oh my god. Well, anyway, if someone actually did pledge to my Patreon, thank you. What I will do is confirm that, and then I will let everyone know if it's legit or not. Okay? And give a shout out to this person, but I have to confirm, and right now, my email's not even loading. How nice. And by the way, I did set up the widget in Streamlabs, and it doesn't work. I set up the widget so that there would be a pop-up for patron pledges, and it's not working, and I don't know why. So maybe it just doesn't link properly or something. I don't know. My email won't even sync properly right now. It says the last time it updated was 40 minutes ago. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know if this patron pledge is legit. And the reason I say that is, oh, it only showed up on one, and I didn't get an email either. So it might not be. It might be some weird thing with Streamlabs that the patron pledges are not working or something. I apologize. By the way, thank you to Vergoda69 who just took me $6. He says, checking in. First Ask the King episode I'm actually watching. Wow. Cool, Vergoda. That's good to hear. I hope you enjoy the show. Let's actually get you up on the leaderboard as a top tipper, and then I'll continue to answer this question. $6, which gets us up to $14 total so far today. Thank you. All right. So anyway, getting back to the subject. Over a decade ago, I used to have an office job, all right? And I would wake up in the morning and eat some kind of a breakfast. Of course, it wasn't a healthy breakfast. It was like one of those breakfasts that you basically just pump in a microwave. You know, greasy sausage and cheese sandwich or something, right? Then I would go to work, and I would drink a bunch of cups of coffee. And then at lunch, I would have some kind of a lunch. Sometimes it was a homemade sandwich that I would bring to work with me. Sometimes I would go out and get like a deli sandwich. Sometimes I would get fast food. Then for dinner, I would have various things, depending. Sometimes I would make myself a burger. Sometimes I would eat something like a microwave meal or something. Basically, I didn't eat very healthy. The heaviest I ever was 240 pounds. That was insane, okay? That was absolutely insane that I was that heavy. And I was not healthy. And that was, at the time of my life, my knees would hurt me. And I would hurt my knees getting in and out of my car because I was so goddamn heavy. Not good, okay? The absolute lightest that I've ever been in my life was around 180 to 185 pounds. And that was actually when I was working out constantly in the early 2000s. I was in my early 20s. And I was all muscle. Like, my whole upper torso, everything here was muscle. Because I was working out, and I had, like, almost no fat on my body. So that was a totally different, crazy time in my life. Today, I'll be very honest with all of you. My eating schedule is very weird, okay? So typically, most days, I don't have breakfast at all. If I have anything in the morning, it's a cup of coffee or a cup of juice. That's it. I stream my first gameplay stream, all right, which lasts 4 or 5 hours. My first meal of the day is dinner. Of course, I eat dinner super early. Most people eat dinner at what, 7, 8 at night? I eat dinner between 4 and 5 p.m. every day. And typically it's a meal that either I make or Kat makes, and they're very healthy meals compared to what I used to eat. For example, the other day we had chicken fajitas. What was it? It was grilled chicken breast with some fajita seasonings, which is just spices. Salsa, which is just store-bought salsa, cooked with it, okay? And fresh pico de gallo, which is just jalapenos, fresh tomatoes, fresh onion chopped up, and cilantro, okay? And a little bit, not a lot, a little bit of shredded Mexican cheese in a fajita tortilla. So if you look at that meal, it's got vegetables, it's got protein, it's got carbs, but it's well balanced, not a lot of fat calories. And that's kind of the stuff I eat all the time now. Like, there was a time when I was constantly eating worse foods, mac and cheese and stuff. I've cut all that out of my diet. So now, for example, some days we'll eat chicken or turkey burgers, very low fat. No, do I eat it with, like, mayo? No. I have it with, like, a little bit of maybe mustard or something, lettuce and tomato, with a side of rice. And that's my dinner. So I basically changed up my meals to be low fat, more good for you, vitamin fortified kind of meals, versus the stuff I used to eat was like, oh, I'm gonna have greasy chicken, barbecue chicken, you know, greasy with mac and cheese and these kind of things that were just not good for you at all. I kind of cut those things out of my diet. All right, so between myself and Kat, we each found basically healthy meals to make that are much better for us than the other stuff. Even some of the stuff that, like pasta, there's nothing wrong with pasta as long as you don't load on cheese and you don't load on unhealthy stuff. It's a lot of carbs, but it's carbs your body needs if that's your one major meal a day. And the reason that people get crazy out of control with their diets is because, oh, I had a giant plate of pasta for dinner. Oh, but I also had a breakfast and a lunch today. And it's like, well, then you fucked up. You ate like 5,000 calories today, right? Now, most of the time I also eat at night. And the reason I do is because Kat works late, comes home, and we're both hungry at night. So my meal schedule is really weird. I'll eat like an early dinner, and then late at night I'll have like a sandwich of some sort. Like last night I had a ciabatta sandwich. What the hell was it? Pastrami. It was turkey pastrami, by the way. Not real pastrami, that's fatty. Turkey pastrami, low fat, with a piece of Swiss cheese and a little bit of Thousand Island dressing. You know, sandwich, like sometimes I'll have a few crackers or something on the side. And that's kind of like, that's my diet. Every once in a while, when we go out on a day out, we'll go out and actually get a breakfast. So that's like my one day a week I actually eat a breakfast sometimes. And even then, I don't go crazy with high cheese, high fat. I try to go for something that's more reasonable, with vegetables and stuff in it. So my diet is a very weird one. Popsicolo is suggesting fasting. In reality, when you look at my diet, I eat one major meal a day and then some kind of a snack later on in the day, and that's my diet. But it's not, I mean, my diet doesn't work for everyone. It does not. My diet absolutely will not work for everyone. In fact, if most nutritionists, okay, now these are the people who get paid to tell you how to eat, basically say the best way for humans to eat is not even eating a big meal at all. Instead, eating eating dozens of snacks. So you wake up and have egg whites and a piece of toast. Then 2 hours later, have some granola. Then 2 hours later, have a yogurt. Then 2 hours later, see what I mean? Like every 2 to 4 hours that you're awake, you're supposed to have a snack. And that's apparently the best way because you're basically just feeding your body after it burns calories and needs to reload those calories back in. You're not power loading insane amounts of calories for your body to then slowly burn off. And I'll be honest, that's probably why I'm still a little bit chubby. I actually, incidentally, I weighed myself this morning. Guess what? I weigh 198 pounds. That's actually the lightest I've weighed in years. So I'm definitely losing weight based on the fact of the changes I made to my diet and everything. But I'm still chubby in the stomach. And the reason is because there's no way I'm ever going to burn off this excess fat on my stomach without proper exercise and the fact that I power load a meal into me. The calories sit here and then burn off slowly, but then sit here again. You see what I mean? In reality, I was actually told by my doctor that I should be around 180 to 185 pounds. That's my ideal body weight. And that was when I was young. He said, your ideal body weight will always be around 185 pounds. So I still got like 13 more pounds that I have to shed. And again, it would probably be this gut that I've got. You know, that's the extra 13 pounds right there. So, you know, diets are very tricky things. Diets are very, like I said, for every person is different. Just because I have a weird diet and it seems to work for me now because I'm not eating the fatty, crappy stuff that I used to eat, doesn't mean that's a diet that will work for anyone else. If you're someone who has a very active lifestyle, you're going to need energy all the time. You're going to need to eat every couple hours, you know? So this fasting lifestyle that Popsicolo has suggested, maybe for some people it works. Maybe you have one big meal you don't eat for a whole day. Maybe that'll work. But for me, I basically get hungry like twice a day. I get hungry for one major meal around this early dinner time, and then at night I have like a snack, and that's like the 2 times a day that I'm really eating. I'm hungry. So, okay. Shout out to an anonymous $5 tipper who says, Phil, is Yun better than Yun, I still don't know how to pronounce his fucking name, better than Chun-Li in Third Strike? Yes, Yun is overall the best character in Third Strike on paper. Execution is something different because Yun is also one of the hardest characters to play with in the game because you need insanely good execution to get his setups, to constantly build his meter, so he always has super, and then during a super combo he can build up more meter. So it's very difficult. I'm not going to go to the technical aspects because people will not understand it on the stream. I know they won't. But in general, Yun is the best character overall in Street Fighter 3 Third Strike. Okay? Chun-Li is very overpowered and very easy to play, but still incredibly good, which makes her top 3. But Yun is much harder to play, but the best player overall, or the best character overall. So we're up to $19 in tips now. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for your support. Ethan Redfield just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Ethan Redfield, for the sub. All right, let's continue. The next question is from Damsel in Distress. All right, and they ask, Phil, what do you think are the main factors that contribute to YouTube being the disgusting, toxic cesspool of a platform that it is today? There's 2 major factors. All right, the first is, being very honest here, people might disagree with me, and that's okay, parents not parenting their kids properly. People just letting their kids go to YouTube and just thinking it's this safe website where everything is fine and happy and you know, approved for good morality and things your kids should be able to watch, no problem. And they just let their kids go there. And there's all kinds of fucking nasty stuff on YouTube. There's gory shit. There's killings that go up there, and of course they get removed. There's things about sex. There's things about politics. There's just so much shit on YouTube that basically should not be allowed for a kid to watch. I'm not saying it shouldn't be allowed in general on the internet. I'm saying it shouldn't be allowed for a kid to watch. And what happens is people just say, whatever. Give your kid the smartphone. Give your kid the tablet. Here you go. Get out there, kid, and just don't bother me because I want to have my own life and I don't want to parent my kid. And the kids go to YouTube and look at the things that they do. They make content creators that literally just put filth out there, garbage content, filth, nasty, irresponsible content, the top people on YouTube. People who just do prank videos and stupid, just insanely dumb shit are the top people on YouTube because we let kids watch whatever they want and just have free reign. Now, the funny thing is, if YouTube's ad system actually worked and realized that the vast majority of people that watch people like Logan fucking Paul and PewDiePie and that shit are little kids, they probably wouldn't get ads because little kids don't have money to fucking buy shit. So they have made people literally rich and famous off of a failed ad system that gives ads to people who don't bring in money to the companies who advertise. And that's why in droves, advertisers in the last 3 to 4 years have said, I'm done with YouTube. YouTube just gives my ads to any old video. It doesn't actually have any system to make sure that my advertising is effective. Most likely these ads are going to terrible things. You know, having ads on racist videos, having ads on shit that only kids watch, and it's a fucking car insurance ad and stuff. See what I mean? It's terrible. The other day, I was watching YouTube, and there was an ad on a video that I played for farm equipment. Farm equipment. I live in Washington State, in an urban area. They're advertising farm equipment to me. Do you see what I mean about ineffective advertising on YouTube? So anyway, the bottom line is parents let their kids just do whatever they want on the internet. The kids flocked to YouTube and created viral fads and things that basically in my opinion, this is just my opinion as an intelligent adult, shouldn't even be popular. But because kids watch it, all right, it gets millions of views and it becomes virally popular, and YouTube rewards that behavior with more popularity. Put those videos in the suggestion. All right, and this leads into my second half, YouTube's automation. Because YouTube is almost 100% automated website. Unlike Twitch, here on Twitch, basically the way things work is it's a lot of human interaction. So, you know, yes, just like YouTube, Twitch is self-policed, but people get reported, and then that goes off to someone who reviews the report. A person, not a bot, a person reviews the report to see if this is valid or not, and then makes a judgment. Which is why you've got people who are banned on Twitch, who are nasty, just, you know, toxic people who are happily thriving on YouTube, but on Twitch they're not welcome because YouTube just has these automated systems that don't catch that kind of stuff. Okay, and so through automation, what YouTube did is it basically took all the shit that only kids like. All right, only kids think that these people are entertaining or worth watching, but those kids give it millions of views, and YouTube says, well, we're not going to look at demographics. Got millions of views, put it on the front page, keep making that person's videos trend no matter what. So now, just by that automated system, that person by default will be the first thing people see when they go to YouTube, and they just become more popular and more popular. It didn't used to do this. The old systems YouTube used to have in place were much better, and then they had these new algorithms, new ways to do things over the last 5 years that fucked the whole website up. So now advertisers come in and say, wow, the top things on YouTube are garbage. We got a drama video maker who all he does is insult people and talk about gossip. We got an idiot gamer who screams at the camera and dresses up like a Muppet and fucking has neon hair. We've got a guy who does prank videos. I don't want to advertise my business on that. That's none of my demographic. No one there cares about my products. So why am I going to go and advertise on YouTube when the top things are garbage for kids, right? Probably the thing that should be the top advertiser on YouTube is like, it should be like, action figure, not even action figures, mobile games for kids, right? Mobile games for kids and kids' clothing accessories and things that kids want. Candy, fucking cereal, breakfast cereal. Those should be the top ads on YouTube because kids are primarily watching the site. You know, and it's terrible, you know. People who once were able to thrive on the site, putting out quality content, can't even shoehorn their stuff into being able to be seen anymore. People who are working their asses off. I'm not saying, by the way, I'm not saying that's me because I give up on YouTube. I'm a live streamer now. You know, the videos I put out are very much not for a YouTube audience. And I understand that I have a hardcore YouTube audience that still watches my stuff, and I'm very appreciative of that. But in general, my videos are not created to appeal to a mainstream YouTube audience. They're very much made just for my longtime fans who can't attend my streams, all right? But there are many people out there who work their asses off and used to be popular on YouTube and can't be anymore because YouTube changed the site to be fully automated, only promote shit for kids. And that's what the site has become. It's laziness and ineptitude of the management of YouTube as a whole. The management structure there is absolutely terrible. The people should be fired, and they should hire all new management who actually want to run the site properly. And it's parents letting their kids do whatever the fuck they want on the internet, watching these terrible fucking irresponsible videos and making them virally popular in the fucking first place. If I had a kid, they would not have free reign to watch that trash on fucking YouTube. I'm sorry, they wouldn't. You cannot go watch Logan Paul. That would be fucking blocked. You can't watch that dunce. I don't want you fucking look at him throwing squids at Japanese people and stupid fucking shit. You know, that's basically how to be an asshole 101. That's what it is. Listen, child, learn how to be an irresponsible asshole who annoys people and gets into trouble constantly. That's the popular stuff on YouTube today. And I wouldn't want a kid to watch that. I'd want them to learn morality and responsibility and not watch that shit and make these people virally popular and rich and fucking famous, which is what all the automation on YouTube does. Okay. All right, moving on. Well, how much time? We're up 40 minutes. Okay. Oh, actually, I should do some shout-outs. Vote Democrat cheered. He says, don't you dare talk about our fearless leader PewDiePie. Oh, my God. No one DSP fan tipped me $1. It says, your beers looks nice and has a nice shape. Do you use products or remedies to keep it that way? Love the hat. No, only thing I have a new razor that Kat actually bought me for Christmas that is way better than my old razor. And it is a lot easier to kind of, you know, style the beard a little bit with it. I wish I had a beard trimmer, but I never bought one. And it's a superfluous product. It's not something I'm going to go crazy for. I really don't care that much about my beard being professional level. As you can see, there's so many gray hairs in it now, or white hairs, that it doesn't even look black anymore. It used to look very dark in my old videos. Now it doesn't even look dark anymore because I got so many light colored hairs in it that it's not even, I don't really care. Just being honest here. Okay, so thank you for the dollar tip. We're now up to $20 in tips today. Thank you very much. Vote Democrat cheered as it stood hating. Oh, I think, huh? He basically says PewDiePie is the face of YouTube. 92 million strong. Yeah, 92 million fucking nudniks. I don't even know what else to say. I really don't. Aaron PC cheered. He says, would you ever consider getting gym equipment for your home for convenience purposes? Yes and no. Yes, I might, but I don't know where I would put it. I don't have a space for it. Maybe somewhere in the garage. I don't even know what I would get. I can't run because I don't want to re-injure my back. Shit, I don't even know. I mean, I've lifted weights before, but I don't really want to, I don't care about buffing up, you know? The thing is, like I said, with my lifestyle, it's sedentary, and people are like, oh, you should do more exercise. You're right. Probably for my heart in general, that would be good. But outside of that, I don't really have much use. Like, I don't consume so many copious amounts of calories that I now have to do strenuous work to burn off said calories. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that huge of a deal, in my opinion. But maybe one day I will. Who knows? Let's see. Toss Monkos just said a 245-bit cheer. That actually makes you the top cheer of the day. Is there any plans to play Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster that comes out tomorrow, or Borderlands 1 Remaster on April 5th? No and no. Nope. Assassin's Creed 3, I didn't like. I don't want to play it again. Borderlands 1 was a good game when it was released. It was kind of boring because I played it solo. I mean, I would maybe if I did a co-op playthrough, it would be more entertaining. But honestly, not the kind of game that's very entertaining for stream viewers. You know, unless you have a group of gamers who do co-op all the time, and maybe then it's fun to see them do the camaraderie or whatever. But for me to just team up with some randoms and play Borderlands probably would not be very entertaining for the stream viewers. So, okay. So continuing on. I don't even know how to say this person's name, so I'm not even gonna bother. It starts with A. I think it's like Annie Coors or something like that. But anyway, they say, did you know that you took down a catfish empire that lasted 10 years on the internet? I didn't do anything. I didn't do a single thing. Okay? What happened was, whoever the fuck these weirdo people are targeted me in late 2017. This is a true story for those who maybe have only been around for a little bit and you didn't know this. In 2017, they targeted me and basically tried to make up an entire story that I had used money that I needed for things like you know, taxes and to pay bills that I got from stream viewers, that I'd use it to hire an escort and had this escort flown across the world. Okay, let's see how preposterous this sounds. An escort flown across the globe to come and spend time with me and to pretend to be my girlfriend for several trips, several visits, okay? Just think about how nuts this sounds, okay? Then, these people, whoever they were, these nut jobs, were pretending to be said escort. They had fake social media accounts that had been long-standing for several years, okay? And were trying to say things based off of basically just listening to my streams. They were trying to say things to pretend like they had actually been here and seen things behind the scenes. Like, for example, this was when I was dating Kat, and Kat wasn't living with me, but every few months she would come visit and spend a few days with me. And she had made me brownies, chocolate brownies. She baked them for me, and they were really good. And I talked about it on a stream. This crazy people who were pretending to be an escort said they had baked me the brownies and posted up a brownie recipe online saying, here's the recipe I made him and stuff. It's just insane. It's absolutely insanity. What were these people trying to do? I guess long term, maybe what they were trying to do was actually like extort me out of money and say, we'll keep this up as long as it goes and tarnish your reputation permanently unless you pay us off to go away. Sad for them. They're so stupid. They didn't realize that so many other assholes had made up shit about me in the past. It didn't matter. People didn't believe it, and the idiots that did were so dumb, it didn't matter. These weren't fans who were supporting me anyway who believed the dumb shit. So my fans didn't give a shit, said, we've heard this million crazy stuff about Phil before. It's never true. We're just going to ignore the nonsense. And in reality, what ended up happening was people looked into this and tried to figure out, are these people real? I just kept adamantly denying it and saying, I'm not even going to talk about it on streams anymore. I'm not going to address it because I know it's 100% false. There's not a single piece of fact in there. It's all fabricated bullshit. So at this point, I'm just going to say, no, none of this is true. And I'm not going to bring it up anymore. But this person kept going. They kept posting things on social media and things. Oh, I was at Phil's house and this and that. Stupid shit. So finally, someone looked into it and behind the scenes found out that the Twitter was a fake one. It was based on a picture of a real person, a real life person who had their stuff stolen off their own social media accounts. And the whole thing was a catfishing. So the people involved, the real person who was being impersonated got involved with their own police and stuff. And basically contacted Twitter. And I guess all the accounts got taken down because they were all proven to be catfish accounts that were illegal. And then people did even more research and found out apparently these people were in Europe. It was a couple, like an older couple, who were doing this probably just for jollies, but more than likely they actually were extorting people for years for money. And they basically picked the wrong person to fuck with because already I had so many people fuck with me that this thing was so stupid, it didn't affect me. But people were like, damn, these people really shouldn't be going gung-ho, suggesting that this is a real story. We were going to dig deeper, and when they dug deeper, they found all these holes and then found all this shit, and the whole thing fell apart. So, pretty nuts. Like, pretty crazy that these crazy people would do shit like this. But the bottom line is, for me, for anyone else, someone across the globe who they never met, impersonating an escort and claiming that you had paid for an escort several times to try to tarnish your reputation would be like a mind-blowing, crazy event that you'll never believe that it happened, but it's a true story, and it shakes you to your very core. For me, it was Tuesday. Because that shit happens to me all the time. Crazy assholes do stupid shit all the fucking time. They just make shit up. To this day, guys, today, people are still insisting. Just listen to this. They're still insisting, all right, that the money that I'm trying to raise to pay taxes, all right, and this trip that I'm taking to Connecticut in April is all fake. I'm really raising funds to go on like a cruise with Kat or go to tropical islands, some crazy, or California, that I'm going on some amazing vacation with Kat. And I've been lying to you for months and months about all of this situation. It's all bullshit. And that's what I mean. Like, do you have any proof? No. Do you have any validity to anything you're saying? No, because it's not true. But people will just make shit up, and every day people believe this stupid shit because they're gullible morons. So, how crazy is that? Yeah, I guess that's one of the crazier things that's happened to me. But like I said, there's so many crazy things over the years. I've heard every single thing. I'm a thief. I'm a scammer. I'm a liar. I'm a pedophile. I'm abusive. Geez, let me keep going. I'm trying to just think of all the things that have been said about me over the years, and with no facts. Never is there actually a fact because there's no facts to have. That's not true. But these people just make this shit up, and it's pretty fucking crazy. All right. I think we got a few more shout outs. Kanji Monster Cheers, am I going to play the Power Rangers fighting game? I've already said this many times. The timing of the release is really bad with the Mortal Kombat 11 beta being this week. I'm not saying I'm never going to play it, but at this point, I really don't have much interest in it. Dropping $20 for a game I might play twice, you know what I mean? An Anonymous Cheerer cheered 100 bits. Thank you very much to the Anonymous Cheerer. And Aaron PC cheers, are you happy to see broken, greedy games like Anthem totally fail? I mean, am I happy to see them fail? No. But I think they should, and thank God they are. Because I'll be honest, Destiny never should have succeeded. 1 or 2. Destiny's the same fucking shit. We stole assets from other franchises. We taped them together with duct tape to make a game that's barely a game. It's just grinding with your friends. And somehow this is a game that sold millions of copies and became virally popular. Like, it blows my mind because Destiny is terrible. I'm sorry. It just is. And yeah, maybe after 3 DLCs, the game actually becomes fun. But how much money did you just spend? How much did you get ripped off, you know, by Bungie, just for the sake of, you know, playing that viral game, that popular game? It's the same. Like, all these games that are these co-op looter shooters are the same. And they're all based off Borderlands. They are. Every single one of them is based off of Borderlands. With just another twist, you know, slapped on it. And Anthem, I'm sorry, you know, BioWare is a company that I really like, but literally abandoned everything that BioWare is good at. A robust, interesting single-player story with narrative that has choices and stuff. And instead abandoned it for just a boring looter shooter that's a piece of shit. And it failed miserably sales-wise. Actually, one of the most disappointing sales ever for BioWare, especially for a major AAA game that they worked hard on, a ton on. A lot of time and resources went into that game. So, am I happy? No, but at least now it's not, because it was at one point they were all succeeding. Every one of these looter shooters was succeeding. Now we've had a few in Fallout 76, Anthem, you know, big AAA style looter shooters that are failing. So maybe the fad will end now. Maybe the fad is over, and now game makers will actually go back to making quality fucking games again. Because that's the bottom line. These games are not quality games. They're just meant to be a co-op shooting experience that really does not revolutionize or innovate or do anything for the sake of gaming or as an art. Instead, it's gaming as a revenue source. And that's not good in my opinion. Okay. Probably got time for one more question, and then we'll take our first break, everybody. Okay. Do you believe that Battle Royale is a fad? It's been around for almost 2 years now and honestly is stronger than ever and shows no signs of slowing down. You even play Blackout and Apex regularly every week because you enjoy them and the viewers want to see those games. I think Battle Royale is different than previous types of games that would end up fading away as fads in years past, as the enthusiasm around Battle Royale is unlike anything we've ever seen before. Do you really think it'll die within a year from now, like you previously said? And that's from Barack Obama. Guess what? First of all, I completely disagree with you. It is not unlike anything we've ever seen before. I've seen fads like this happen before in gaming. Zombie games. There was like a good 2 to 3 years, every major studio was making a fucking zombie game. First-person shooters with gritty atmosphere. There was a good 2 to 3 years when Call of Duty became super prominent. All of a sudden, everyone wanted to jump on the bandwagon and make some kind of a first-person shooter with gore and swearing, and that lasted like 3 to 4 years. These fads come and go. These fads happen, and they go away. Some of them actually end up staying. Like, for example, Minecraft, right? That game was a fad that became a viral phenomenon. It hit mainstream culture, and when it did, boom. It's still, to this day, still here, even though how many people realistically still talk about Minecraft or really play or care much about it? Not that many, but it's still around. It's a staying force, right? These fads always happen. They do. In regards to Battle Royale, sorry, a little itchy spot on my freaking lip there. In regards to Battle Royale, Battle Royale has not only been around for a couple years. Battle Royale was a fad on PC back with games like DayZ, PUBG, H1Z1. Those games were virally popular on PC for a while. But because they never broke over to the mainstream consoles, the mainstream gamers didn't really talk about them or care about them. You know, the average kid never played a Battle Royale game until Fortnite came out on consoles, became a Battle Royale game, which originally it wasn't. It was redesigned to be Battle Royale, and then became free to play. Then all of a sudden, now you have a mainstream way for a kid to play a Battle Royale game on every single console. Just so happens that Fortnite was cartoony. It had emotes and dances and stupid outfits and all kinds of shit that kids like, right? All that dumb fluff shit that doesn't add to a game, but kids love it. And that's why Fortnite became virally popular the way it did in the last year and a half. And that's why it's mainstream. That's why Ninja exists. If Fortnite didn't catch on, Ninja would not exist. He was someone who tried to break out as a streamer for many, many years and never really was making it. And then finally with Fortnite, he got lucky and the whole thing exploded. And, you know, now he's on the front page of ESPN and shit. You see what I mean? But Battle Royale, or Battle Royal, or however the fuck you say it, because King calls us off as nitpicking and being annoying in the stream chat like usual, is basically a fad. That's why everyone jumped on it. Everyone has jumped on the fad. How many spin-off games now have Battle Royale or Battle Royal as something added on or tacked on to the gameplay experience that was originally designed of what it was supposed to be, because they want that fad money. But it's not going to last forever. It's not. The truth of the matter is that Fortnite brought this fad that was on PC to the mainstream, made it even more virally popular. But have you noticed, as soon as Apex Legends came out, a lot of people jumped off of the fad bandwagon of Fortnite and started playing Apex? Have you noticed that Apex already has started to die down and people don't talk about it as much anymore? And that's what's going to keep happening. You may have a few, just like with Fallout 76 and with Anthem, AAA game developers are now going to say, wow, Battle Royale is the fad, not the looter shooter. And you may see, I'm not even kidding you, prominent franchises, Gears of War, Battle Royale, you know, stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing Battle Royale in all of these franchises that it doesn't belong and we never even thought you would see it. But I almost guarantee it will exist. I do. So, that being said, is it going to go away anytime soon? No, because it's free. That's kind of the thing. Like, the looter shooter genre and the looter shooter franchises that became virally popular, you still had to buy the games. Then you had to buy the DLCs. These games are free to play, and then revenue gets added in. You see what I mean? A little bit nickel and dime later on. So that being said, yeah, I don't realistically see it going away soon, but it's going to die out like every other fad. Maybe 3-4 years tops. Right now, I guess you'd say on consoles, it's been about a year to a year and a half that it's been popular. So maybe another year to a year and a half, and then the next fad will come in and take over. This is the life cycle of games. This is what we've learned over the last 15 to 20 years, that you get this life cycle of fads that come in through gaming. And hell, one of the biggest fads ever that completely fizzled out was motion controls. Remember the Wii? The Wii was so popular with motion, wiggle your hands around like an asshole to play games, and that lasted like 3-4 years, and then it died out, and the Wii couldn't even sell games anymore, and then, you know, they had to move on at another failed console after that. But because the Wii was so popular, every console had to have it. The Kinect, the fucking PS Move, everyone had to jump on the bandwagon, right? This always happens. This seriously always happens, and I love that people try to say, oh, it's a different situation now. It's the same. It's the same thing. It happens over and over. Yes, there's variations of things that tweak and change a little bit differently for, you know, every once in a while to make it a little different. But in general, it's the same exact pattern over and over and over that happens. It never changes. Okay? All right, so shout out to Fall Pokey, who subscribed to the channel. It's time for our first break. We're going to take a break. If you're watching live on stream, this will be about a 15, 20-minute break tops, probably 15. I'll do a shorter break. If you're watching on stream, excuse me, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm going to end this part of the video, and we're going to have a part 2, where we're going to finish up the forum questions and head on to the Twitter questions. Okay? Fair enough. Oh, by the way, Ripley Atomic just resub for 13 months. Says, can't wait for Subway to release a gaming console. All right, guys. It's break time. Thanks so far for a great Ask the King, and I will see you shortly for more.